industrialized world is facing a profound shift in its age structure, something that, anyone who was interested in demographics over the last 20, 30 years or 40 years or longer, since that, baby boom that hit the Western industrialized countries the most, but other countries have been affected by similar shifts, partly due to other events, policy changes like the one-child policy, for example, in China.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are pointing in the same direction, which is a society that's older but demographically more diverse. And I think one theme kind of tends to dominate, which is the aging theme and getting older and the supposed burden that this puts on societies. But I like to flip it around and think of it, what's the opportunity when you have that much experience and wisdom
Mm-hmm.
in countries? How can that be shared? Well, I think, the idea of a hard stop for anything is not a good premise. In other words, you're working, and suddenly tomorrow you're not. You go to zero. You don't want these binary, very non-gradated, non-nuanced approaches to life in general, to our society, to our economy. And that applies to, I think, the retirement decision. If we create opportunities for people to downshift, if you will, or shift into different lanes, and when we're on the highway, we have a kind of fast lane, a passing lane, and a slow lane. But we're all going in the same direction, aren't we? We don't just stop. Like, we don't put on the brakes. And that's kind of what we're saying with someone's career, that, hey, at this certain age, you put on the brakes. No, it's a shift. Well, I think it's important because people need to hear there are solutions to some of the more negative prognostications around aging in our industrialized societies, because it is affecting many countries, not just a European phenomenon, a North American phenomenon. It's pretty much global. What we're talking about here is extending that working age, given the life expectancy and the quality of life that people have later in life. The point about all this is that at whatever stage you're at, you're going through the same process. Every country in the world is going at the same process, whether they're in Japan's state or Italy, which is, very worried actually in that case about the kind of future of the country, because at some point, if you don't have immigration and deaths start to unnumber births, your population goes into decline, like in absolute numbers. Really want to emphasize the substance of this conference too, right? That there's going to be a lot of depth, a lot of people with really interesting ideas and experience, both practical. So some of it will be like case studies. Here's what company X has done to integrate people of all ages and create a dynamic, lifelong learning inside of organizations. We'll talk about big issues like the big macroeconomic effects of aging. That's one of the themes that I'm going to pick up on. So we want to welcome everyone to our campus, and